ISS, the main purpose is to do scientific experiments, to do things that improve life on Earth. The ISS is so big and so complex that there is no way that even with 6 astronauts, they could possibly know how to do everything in the entire space station. My name is Tess Caswell, and I work in mission control for the International Space Station as an operator for the Environmental and Thermal Operating Systems, which we call ETHOS. The environmental system is commonly referred to as ECLSS, or the Environmental Control and Life Support System. This was recently combined with the thermal system to make ETHOS, and it contains all of the hardware necessary to keep astronauts alive on board ISS. So all of the systems that provide oxygen, provide nitrogen, give the crew water to drink, and keep it a nice, comfortable temperature. All of the water on ISS can be recycled. So we have a system that can recycle condensation into drinking water, and we can also recycle urine into drinking water.
So here we are today with the first round of recycled water, and we have these highly attractive labels on our water bags that essentially say brought to you by ECLSS, and drink this when real water is over 200 miles away.
After it's been recycled, the crew can drink it. We can put that water back into, say, the toilet system so they can use it for flush water.
Our little restroom, and there is the toilet.
We can also send the water to the oxygen generating system, or OGS, to provide air for the crew to breathe.
Obviously here we cannot open the window and exchange air, but the life support system is doing this for us. So we continuously have open windows that suck in the air, clean it, replenish it with oxygen and spew it out again.
There's a lot of chemistry involved in producing oxygen on ISS. We have to take water and break it apart into the atoms that it's composed of. So we take hydrogen and oxygen, split them apart, break the water down, and use the oxygen to put into the air so the crew can breathe it. And we send the hydrogen on to another system, which combines it with the CO2 that the astronauts have breathed out to create more water, which can then go back into the loop. The ECLSS system can impact us directly on Earth. Water recycling is something that can be very useful in remote countries, places with drought, places where it's hard to reach fresh water. You can use the ECLSS technology to recycle water in places like that as well. Before we had OGS, we used the Russian electron system, which is very similar to OGS in that it uses electrolysis to create hydrogen and oxygen from water. But it does not produce as much oxygen as the OGS, so it was not able to keep up 100% with the needs of the crew. The impact of having all of that recycling equipment on ISS is that we don't have to fly water up to the space station. We don't have to fly oxygen up to the space station.
You know, if you were to buy a bottle of water here, it would cost about $20,000. It takes a lot of rocket fuel to ship water and other supplies into space.
Every time you launch a vehicle into space, it costs millions of dollars.
Liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis.
So if we can make it on the space station, it's a lot cheaper and a lot easier to keep a space station going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So as you're working on this problem, a breath of fresh air, I hope you'll be thinking about generating oxygen on board the ISS. Also be thinking about that hydrogen and thinking about how we recycle that to make more water that then makes more oxygen. So you're doing exactly what we use on the ISS to create oxygen to keep the crew alive.